Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Entertainment Brick Show. So today is Owl House Day. Well, I guess this is the day after the Owl House episode came out. I thought it came out at like 9 a.m. early on Saturday, but it did not. It came out at 9 p.m., so I didn't really get the chance to make a video on it because I was busy, I was doing stuff. And now it's, the day after. Just finished watching the episode, and I can by far easily say this is the best episode of the Owl House I've seen. It was incredible. Such a great episode. It seems like this is what the creators of the show and the team on the show actually really wanted to kind of do, because I know there's been a lot of talk previously with the previous seasons, how Disney kind of maybe stepped in a little bit and tried to change a few things, and that's why season 1 was a little bit somewhat more lighthearted than season 2. And season 2, was a little bit better. It got a little bit darker in moments, and a lot more stuff happened in season 2, of course. But then this first episode of this season was, again, it seems like this is exactly what the team wanted to really do. This didn't feel anything Disney-ified or anything like that. I didn't get any of hints of Disney, what would be the word here? Disney, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of what the word I'm looking for is, but Disney's just like putting their hand in and trying to stop a few things, but it felt like very serious, very gritty, very emotional, and I was really blown away because I gotta be honest, I wasn't too crazy about this season 3 episode 1 yet. I don't know, I just didn't feel the hype around it. I wasn't getting excited for it, but after watching the episode, it was incredible. It was just amazing. Absolutely spectacular episode. I cannot wait to see the other 2 episodes, especially if this episode is going to be, or especially if the other episodes are going to be just like this episode with this like gritty tone, this very darker tone. I can't wait to see that. Really, very excited. But yeah, I'm going to get into a breakdown of the episode. I'm going to talk about my overall thoughts and how it might compare to my theories and ideas for the that other video that I was doing on theories and ideas for the series. For season 3, and then also talking about the future of where this season will go, where this season will carry on to. But again, very great start. Absolutely cannot wait to talk about it. We're going to talk all spoilers. We're going to do an entire recap discussion of the episode, and I'm going to go through all the moments, talk about them in depth. And yeah, very excited to talk about this. So let's get into it. All right, so let's start with a small recap of everything that kind of happened in the episode. Kind of talk about some moments in depth that are very important, that were very interesting, were very compelling. So we start off with kind of a recap of the episode, of the ending of season 2 and this beginning of season 3 here. Get a little recap of what happened. We hear King saying his line to Luz, and then the group finally coming back into the human realm, and Camilla, was taking care of him and everything like that. So everybody's, kind of recovering from what just happened. Everybody's very freaked out. Everybody's a little bit roughed up and hurt a little bit just because of everything that happened, of course, at the end of season 2. And we kind of have this quick conversation between Luz and Hunter, who seem to be the focal point characters of this episode for good reason, because they're just such important characters, where Luz and Hunter are kind of freaked out about their involvement with Belos and his plan and having to tell everybody about their involvement. And then we also see a quick shot of the Belos, goop, whatever, glob, still living on in the human realm and kind of jumping around, and we get a lot of hints at that, of that Belos goop kind of existing in this human realm throughout the episode here. But basically, we see Camilla kind of setting up everybody for sleeping in her house and staying with her, because she's now taking care of 6 kids at this point, which she does make a joke about in some point in the episode. And then we get a cool montage of the gang kind of settling into Earthrealm life and creating a makeshift portal door, which fails. And, there was also a highlighted moment of the group experiencing non-acidic rain, which was pretty cool. And I actually didn't notice this, but that actually ended up being the new intro. So we got a brand new intro for this episode. And I wonder if we're going to be getting brand new intros for every episode. Like if we're going to get a brand new intro for episode 2, and then we're going to get a brand new intro for episode 3, because I don't know if they just want to reuse the human realm one, considering about what happens at the end of this episode. But again, we'll talk about that later. So we, kind of cut to the main sequence of the episode here, where the gang is starting to learn Spanish, which I thought was kind of funny. There was a whole little sequence with that. And Amity wants to investigate the human realm on their own, like Luz investigated the Boiling Isles on their own. Because they're trying to figure out a way to get back home. They're trying to get Titan's blood. They're trying to find a portal door. They're trying to find any way that they can get back home. So Flapjack, who is Hunter's palisman, who seems to be a very important palisman and is a very important palisman, finds a scroll which seems to be a map to where another portal door could be, and that's what Amity kind of looks at. The whole team looks at it. Meanwhile, Luz is going back to school. She's kind of freaking out at school because she has this whole problem, this conflict, where she helped the villain to enact their plan, and she has kind of a big problem with that. But I mean, rightfully so. It's a very screwed up moment. And she's also invited to a Halloween hayride event, which comes into play later. So Luz and Camilla drive past a car accident caused by the Bellows scoop, because there was, a car accident, a tree crashed into a car. I mean, a car crashed into a tree, not a tree crashed into a car crashed into a tree, and it was the Bellows goop kind of jumping out in front of it, as in the shape of a deer, it said, or one of the characters said, causing the car to have an accident. But yeah, very, very interesting there. And then we also get this very cool long conversation between Hunter and Gus, who of course seem to be friends after that episode in, was it season 2, 16, I think it was, or 17? I don't remember exactly. But Hunter enjoys being in the human realm a lot. Like he seems to like it a little bit more than being in the Boiling Isles. Him and Gus have a very long conversation about the Emperor's Coven and what it was like to be in the Emperor's Coven. And this at first gave me a little bit of worry, because I didn't like how Gus was asking about the Emperor's Coven to Hunter as if Gus was interested in joining the Emperor's Coven. But I don't think that's going to come back into play at all. I think that was just kind of like a genuine question. But yeah, I was getting like a little nervous. I'm like, why is he asking about this? This is very weird. But Gus also talks about missing his dad a lot, and missing the people of the Boiling Isles, because they're family. They were all the people that they knew, and now they're in this strange new world, the human realm, and they don't know what's going on. So we also, this very long emotional conversation ends up turning into kind of a joke at the end, sort of, where Gus becomes this super fan of a somewhat Star Trek book series kind of like knockoff thing, which I thought was funny. What is it? Cosmic. I don't remember what the thing was called, but it was Cosmic something. But it's basically Star Trek. It's basically Star Trek. And then Gus gets Hunter into the Star Trek thing too, Star Trek book series too. So Luz gets up in the middle of the night, and Amity sees the haunted hayride poster, which again comes back into play. It's kind of this is just setting up for that big ending sequence, which was incredible. And Camilla is looking for ways to try and get demon realm food, trying to find ways to kind of like make apple's blood or something with food coloring, and has this nightmare about how Luz was being treated or perceived by the public or by people. Like there were moments where Luz was a child, and we also saw moments from season 1 and actually season 1 episode 1 where Luz was in the principal's office, and Camilla was kind of getting freaked out about it. And Camilla was bullied in high school and middle school or whatever. Yeah, high school I think it was. Yeah, very interesting comparisons between both characters, just showing that Camilla, was basically just like Luz, which was very interesting. So Hunter sees the Bellows goop in the house, and while, the rest of the group, meaning Willow, Amity, Gus, and V, all go out into town looking for an answer to that map around town, because, best thing to do, that's what they were going to go out and do. But they didn't tell Luz or Camilla or anybody, which I didn't agree with. I was like, that's not a good idea. You don't know the human realm as well. So then we have a montage of the group looking for answers to the map, and we also see evil giraffes, which is pretty cool, or demon giraffes, and why everybody in the Boiling Isles is so scared of them. And like Gus even makes a comment like, "Man, good thing we got rid of those guys," So meanwhile, the group investigates the Historical Society Museum, and the tour guide helps them to solve this map and tells them that it's actually a rebus. And the map is going to lead them to Titan's blood, which is very interesting. So meanwhile, Luz is waiting on her Palisman egg to hatch, because of course that still hasn't happened. We still have the whole Palisman thing, where the Palisman that Luz made is not hatched yet. So meanwhile, Hunter and Luz go off to face against Bellows in the house, but it's just a possum. So Hunter is starting to get visions of Bellows, which isn't good, or sees the Bellows scoop and like starts getting freaked out about it, goes to investigate the Bellows scoop in the house, just ends up seeing it's a possum. But what we actually learn is that the Bellows scoop got on Hunter and is slowly starting to take him over. And that's kind of happens throughout the episode here. So They get back to the house and everybody kind of talks about how they're planning on going to that haunted hayride and is starting to prep up costumes and stuff like that. And again, now we I guess not again, but when we cut to the next shot here, we're actually at the haunted hayride event and we see the bellow scoop actually starting to take over Hunter with like the dark veins kind of coming up on his side. And there was this kind of like a joke moment where Gus intervened on a witch trial play, and the old curator guy from like what was it, season 2 episode 10, yeah, that's what it was, gets arrested because he tried to like yell at Gus for saying that he's actually a witch and nobody believed him because it's Halloween. So yeah, just a funny joke moment. And then back to the serious stuff. The bellow scoop again is starting to take over Hunter more and more, and he's starting to see visions and hear things of Bellows basically. And the haunted hayride, basically they go on. The group goes on this haunted hayride, and it tells the story of the Witteveen brothers and how Caleb may have gotten killed, which was interesting. So I still don't think we know exactly what happened to Caleb yet. I mean, I bet we will find out in the other episodes. I mean, it's pretty safe to assume that he got killed, but then again, there's still room for potential like wiggle room in that, where maybe Caleb survived, maybe he found someone and decided to live a life in the Boiling Isles. I mean, there's still that theory going around of what's it, Dale Clawthorne? I think it's Del Clawthorne. Which is Ida's father being Caleb. So I wonder if that will ever come back into play. I mean, who knows? Because the tour guide of the haunted hayride did say something about, or made like a joke sort of, but it could come back where what if Caleb just found some witch wife and ended up settling down and in the Boiling Isles. So maybe that's what it was. And again, that could be a reference to potentially Del Clawthorne and Gwendolyn Clawthorne getting together. So I don't know. I still have a question. I'm not too sold on Caleb being killed yet. No, I'm not too sold on it. But anyways, so Hunter sees Bellows and freaks out again. Nobody believes him really. So Hunter tells Luz about the Rebus and how Amity and the group were going to surprise Luz with talking about the Titan's blood, and there's a map to the Titan's blood. But instead, this is kind of more of a dire matter. So Hunter and Luz decide to go and get the Titan's blood themselves before anyone else really gets to it. So Camilla sees Luz's message back at home here. Camilla sees Luz's message. She does like these diary messages on a computer about how she wants to stay in the human realm and not go back to the Boiling Isles because she thinks that'll be the best option for everybody, considering, again, they still don't know that Luz was a piece in getting Bellows' plan and finding the Collector. So not good, obviously. So then, back to this ending moment here. Again, this whole ending sequence was incredible. So Luz uses glyphs to figure out where the Titan's blood is, because apparently the Titan's blood is kind of what powers the magic, it seems. And then when we get to like this graveyard area, which seemed to be very reminiscent of season 1, episode 2. It was like the Wizards, Witches, something. I forget what the title of the episode was called, but at the end of the episode, they go to like this, I don't know, what was this, like a pedestal kind of thing? Not really, though. With a walkway, and they fight the weird, like, octopus guy, like the weird, like, the puppeteer guy. And they fight him on that, and it looked very reminiscent of that. Like, there was like this little island of graves in the middle, and then Luz used an ice bridge to get over to the island of graves. So, I don't know. Maybe that's just like a coincidence, but I don't know. That was very interesting. It looked very, very similar. Very similar. So anyways, Hunter, where am I? Oh, yeah, okay. So Hunter is fully taken over by Bellows at this point and finds the vial of Titan's blood. So it's very cool, very, very cool design for Hunter, with him like half taken over by Bellows and half, still looking like Hunter, still retaining that same look for him. And he has like the things growing out of it, the horns growing out of his head and stuff like that. Like very cool design for him. Really love to see that. And the whole group, we get into like this the smooth animation, the very nice animation comes in where the group fights off against Hunter. They doing a full fight scene against Hunter with magic and everything like that. And Hunter wins because, he's Bellows. Bellows is just crazy strong. So Hunter wins, almost kills Flapjack, by the way, which is awful, and then starts drowning because he was going after the Titan's blood And Camilla saves Hunter because apparently Camilla can hold her breath for a while, I guess. And basically, at the end of the episode, here we're at the end of the episode, Bellows escapes through the portal, makes a portal with the Titan's blood, and escapes through it. Then Flapjack dies to save Hunter, which is awful. R.I.P. Flapjack, very sad. But saves Hunter, so that's cool. And now Hunter has like cuts and stuff all over him, which is pretty cool. It looks cool, but I feel bad for him because it's probably painful. But anyways, Luz explains what she did and that she kind of was basically, a pawn in Bellows' game here. And everybody forgives her. I was kind of hoping maybe for like more of an emotional, visceral reaction there, but it did end up just being like, oh, everybody forgave her, it's fine. So I don't know, that's fine, but I maybe would have liked maybe like at least one of the group members to kind of be like maybe mad at her or something like that. At least showing like a little bit of like, man, you caused all this kind of, or was a portion or a piece in causing all of this. But then again, Hunter did explain that Bellows does trick people. So I don't know. That's just me. I would have liked maybe like more emotion from that. But anyways, the group goes through the portal, and this time Camilla goes with. So Luz and Camilla go together, and then Amity goes, Willow and Gus, Hunter go. They all go through the portal after Bellows. V stays behind to kind of quote unquote keep up appearances, where because V can shapeshift and shapeshifts into Camilla and all this. So yeah, that's basically the end of the episode, and everybody goes through the portal. So I think next episode's going to pick up where that left off. And I also want to mention, at the end, during the credits, there was some really cool art, by the way. Very, very cool art. If you go to watch the episode, make sure to stay for the credits, because they show some really cool like art and drawings and stuff. There was this really cool one of Hunter, I think, sleeping, and like Flapjack next to him. Really loved that. Really cool pieces of art. I want to find ways to get that art. I don't know. I want to get like a nice like framed of that art. But anyways. Yeah, that was it. That was the whole episode. That was the recap of the episode. Now I want to just get into the full-blown breakdown here. All right, so now we are on to the breakdown of the episode. Talking about it all, talking about the future, talking about comparing what happened in the episode to my theories and ideas, and all that. So I guess we'll start off with the ending, because that was probably the most interesting part of the episode by far, because there wasn't really like a lot of lore or anything like that really revealed in this episode, per se. It was more like just kind of recovering from season 2, starting up a new adventure to get back home, and then having the whole Bellows situation be a big issue. Again, really great ending. Loved the ending of the episode. Again, this is my favorite episode of the Owl House by far. This is like the coolest episode. Very cool episode. Felt very much more for how I want this show to be, or how I wanted this show to be. Because it was much more serious, much more gritty, very serious. But yeah, anyways, we're going to talk about the episode. We're going to do a full breakdown here. So, Hunter gets taken over by Bellows. That was awful. That was awful to see, but very cool design. Really, really cool design. Again, love the horns coming out of his head and everything like that. Flapjack, R.I.P. Flapjack, but thanks for saving Hunter. That was great. And where do I think this show is going to go? Where do I think these next episodes are going to take place? So, originally, my theories and ideas was that episode 1 would be in the human realm, kind of showing what the group did in the human realm, which it was, so I got that part right. I don't know if I got all the details right, but I did get that part right. Episode 2, I said, would be about Ida being able, like, surviving the Boiling Isles situation, and basically getting the group and everybody together to face off against the Collector. So, like, having setting up a whole Boiling Isles army to take on the Collector. And then, like, at the end of that episode, I think is probably where it would end, and, having Ida recover and stuff like that from everything that happened and stuff like that. And so again, maybe that's still going to be true, but it wouldn't involve Luz or anybody like that. But it seems like this episode 2 that they set up would actually involve Luz. So it's going to be, the full group, including Camilla, going to the Boiling Isles and searching for Ida, searching for King, searching for the entire group, whatever, and hopefully getting together, and then probably doing what my theory was, which was getting an army together to take on the Collector. And then episode 3 would probably be like the full battle scene where the Collector is just going to be wiping the floor with everybody in the Boiling Isles, and they're going to have to find some sort of crazy way to take on the Collector. Because I feel like this is like, I don't know how much story there really is here, because I feel like they're really cranking through story where, if let's say they did go to just have the group go straight to the Boiling Isles instead of having like this backstory episode with Ida. If they go to the Boiling Isles, then go to get like an army prepared in episode 2. Then in episode 3, it's gonna be a full fight scene, which would kind of be cool. That would be really cool if it's just a full battle. But there's probably gonna be some sort of crazy thing, a crazy event that happens where I don't know, maybe the Collector like gets much more powerful and like grows huge or something like that. Because I don't know how it would be if like the Collector just kind of like, because the Collector doesn't have an army. There's no army. There's no enemies or anybody or any like goons or anything that the Collector has to kind of fight the people. Although knowing the Collector, they could probably make more. I don't know. There's a lot of things that I guess that could happen here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is more story here than I'm thinking. Or maybe they're not even going to set up an army. Who knows? Maybe it's just going to be like Ida, Camilla, the gang, the gang of kids that they have. Maybe Rain. If Rain, although I think Rain might be dead. Rain might be dead. Maybe the other head. Oh my god, I haven't watched the show in a while. I don't even remember what their names are. The head coven people of the different covens. Yeah, it made no sense. But anyways, maybe they get that group together to take on the Collector, because I feel like you're gonna need a ton of people to take on the Collector, because as shown in the end of season 2, the Collector was able to like move a finger and cause the entire place that they were on, the entire like Titan head to explode or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. There's so much cool stuff that they can do. I'm very, very excited. I wonder how Belos is going to continue to play into this season as well, because Belos is still around. Belos is in his like demonic form. Very freaky looking, by the way. Very cool design for him as well. But yeah, he's still walking around. It sounds like he has a plan as well, because before going into the portal, he said this would be better for everybody or something along those lines, and he ended up walking through the portal. So I wonder if he has a plan to take down the Collector, and I bet you in episode 2 the gang is going to have to work with Belos to face off against the Collector. Because again, the Belos definitely for sure has a plan on taking him down, but I don't think he'd be able to do it himself. I'd be very surprised. But yeah, very excited to see Belos again, because he's obviously very cool. I don't know. I want more backstory on Caleb for sure, because I feel like they've given us little hints of Caleb, little hints of him. In the Hollow Mind episode, which is a great episode of season 2, they showed like little pictures and stuff like that of him, but they never really showed what happened to him. And then in this episode, they showed like the puppet Caleb walking and then like fire coming over and taking him over. So I wonder if he died. Did he die in a fire, or is he still alive? And he's Del Cawthorn. That would be really cool. If that's like the big reveal that he's Del Cawthorn, that would be pretty cool. Like, that'd be so cool. But anyways, yeah, I don't know exactly what's gonna happen to Caleb. I feel like they definitely should explain that in episode 2, or maybe I'm just not even seeing it. Maybe they already explained it and I'm just not even seeing it. I don't know, but I'm not sold that he just died. I'm not sold on that. I mean, maybe, because then if he died, then Belos took some of his DNA to make the Grimwalkers. But then again, I don't know. I feel like he'd still be alive. I feel like there'd be some sort of thing that's happening where he's still alive and he's still going. But I don't know. Again, I'm still kind of sold on that Del Cawthorn theory. Fingers crossed that's a true theory. I would love to see that actually play out in episode 2 or episode 3, whatever. But I don't know for certain. I definitely don't know for certain. What else happened in the episode? I mean, again, there wasn't too much like lore stuff or too much lore to kind of break down in the episode, because there was a lot of just like recovering, starting up a new adventure, and then fighting Belos, which was amazing. Again, favorite episode, but I don't know exactly what else really happened that I could kind of break down with lore and stuff like that and theory-wise. I guess I for sure thought Hunter was going to die. First off, I for sure thought Hunter was going to die, but he ended up getting saved. Who else did I think was going to die? I thought Camilla was going to die because I thought Belos would attack her. And I'm actually still not sold on the fact that I think Camilla will not make it out of the series. That was an awful way to explain it, but I think Camilla might die, first off. But I don't know if it's going to be, that'd be too much. I don't know if that'd be too much for them to do, just because Disney, it's still a Disney show. So I don't know if that's too much if they have characters like full on die, but they kind of already did that though. They kind of already did that with Rain, it seems, unless Rain comes back, which would be amazing as well. Love Rain, very cool character. I don't know. I feel like I feel like some characters could die in these in the next couple episodes. I definitely think Bellows is gonna die. Hunter maybe Hunter still. Maybe like Hunter and Bellows like join together and take on the Collector themselves and end up destroying the Collector, but also destroying themselves. I don't know. Ida, I think will make it out. Luz, Amity, Willow, Gus. Yeah, I don't know. Camilla, I'm still rocky on Camilla because Camilla's so positive about going to the demon realm that it just kind of like I'm thinking like, oh man, if she's so like Camilla's really positive about going to the demon realm, very excited, like ready to take on Bellows, has very little fear, like ready to just go and wipe the floor with Bellows, and the Collector. Yeah, no, I don't know. That gets me a little worried for Camilla's future in these next couple episodes because I think she's gonna be so positive that it's gonna be devastating to see her go. But again, I don't know if they're gonna be able to do that just because it's Disney, and Disney might be like, hey, no, you can't do that. You can't have characters die. But still, that'd be sad. But I don't know. That's just my thoughts. This is kind of like my chance to just kind of get all my thoughts out about the episode, get all my thoughts about hopefully the next potential episodes, and some more theories, I guess, drawn from from this first episode. What else? Do I think? Oh yeah, actually, this is a good question to ask. Do I think that Luz will stay in the human or the demon realm or the human realm? I wonder if they're gonna do what Amphibia did, where Amphibia and ended up going back to the human worlds, where the humans went back to the human worlds, and then the frogs stayed at the frog worlds. But I don't know if that's gonna happen here. I wonder if maybe they're gonna find some way to have it. They're gonna star versus the forces of evil but not as bad. To where there'll be some sort of portal or some sort of way where Luz and can go to the demon realm, and then people of the demon realm can go to the human realm. But I don't know if they're gonna do it that way because I feel like that would be too simple of an ending. I feel like it needs to be a little bit more emotional. But then, oh man, I don't know, because you know what? I feel like if they were to have it, I just voice cracked. I feel like if they were to have it where Luz and Camilla went back to the human realm, and then had everybody else stay on the Boiling Isles, that would be devastating. Because especially with Luz and Amity being together, how would that work? And then if now my mind is running wild here about how this is gonna end, because I don't know how they would do this. Because I don't know if they're gonna have it where Luz ends up going back to the human realm, if Luz stays on the demon realm, and Camilla goes back to the human realm, or Amity goes to the human realm with Luz and Camilla, but the rest of them stay behind. Man, I wonder how this is gonna work. No, but I think they might do. Maybe that portal will come back into play. The Titan's Blood portal that was introduced in this episode at the graveyard. I wonder if that'll just come back into play to where there'll be some way that you can go back and forth between both realms. But I don't know. I'm actually very intrigued to see how this is going to end. But anyways, that was just kind of like my random thoughts, just to kind of to talk about the episode, talk about the future of the season. And other than that, I'm probably going to close the video out here. I think it's going on long enough. So there you have it. Season 3, episode 1 of The Owl House came out today. Great episode. Favorite episode of the entire series. Cannot wait for the next episodes. Most likely coming out in 2023. But again, I'll still cover all of them as they come out next year, most likely. But yeah, I absolutely cannot wait for those next episodes. And yeah, there you go. So if you enjoyed that video, do the common YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.